Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know-hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co-founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. With over 15 years of investing experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, fix and flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties within Florida and Virginia. Our firm's services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at bpremierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode of Let's Do It Talk Show. Oh boy, we got some presents for you, right? It's Christmas time and we know that Jesus is the reason for the season, but we got some presents. Some of them you want, some of them you want to get rid of. So we're talking about getting rid of some ships. I know y'all thought it was going to be a cuss word, but I did that to grab y'all attention. So today's episode is all about ships. I'm talking about relationships, friendships, partnerships, mentorship. You get it. You get the gist of it, right? So we're talking about ships, to love them or to leave them. Like, a lot of people have been talking about various situations about this, so we're going to dig into it. We have a couple people, but before I get started, you know how I do. It's your girl, Ladrine Howard-Peterson, the CEO and founder of Do It, delivering on ideas and thoughts. And what I do in a nutshell is I help to turn dreamers into doers. Do it from two aspects. I do it from the aspect of career development, resume writing, interview preparation. You're looking to change your job, you got problems on your job, I'm your girl. Also from a business standpoint, if you're looking for someone to help you with a business plan, but business marketing strategies, that's my thing. So if you're looking for any of those, guess what? I'm your girl. I'm your girl. So y'all know how I do every week. I tell you a little bit about the show and I talk about my weekend. So the purpose of our show and the platform was created for entrepreneurs. And we do delve into different things that impact entrepreneurs, and we highly do that, but we also talk about all things because we think and we feel that we should talk about all avenues and all aspects that impact an entrepreneur as a whole. So today's show is no different than that. No different than that. So my weekend, oh my goodness. So y'all know I've been off. I've been on use or lose leave since the beginning of December. So I've been having the time of my life, mostly relaxing. Judy Howard Cummings and family. And when I tell you that they roll out the carpet and just everything goes down. So what happens is we have a really good time, plenty of food, dance contest. We had an ugly sweater contest. Then everybody spent the night over Judy's house. So we had airbags, mattresses, everything. It was maybe 15 of us who stayed the night over, and they had breakfast that morning, but unfortunately I missed it because I had to roll out, and I wanted to go to church, and I wanted to be on this side at church. At church was a serious blessing. We had Kiara Sheard, who came in and rocked the house. Blessed, anointed, everything. Y'all know the Clock sisters, right? Little baby Kiki. She's not such a baby anymore. But then also with that, my pastor, he just blessed us with a serious word. And I'm not going to go into details with all of that, but one of the things that I want to say is he's so cool, and he always makes sure he mixing a little bit of stuff. So he talked about Drake a little bit. He did a quote from Drake, but he also mentioned Barry Farms. So here's the thing. Y'all know I'm Southeast all day long. On Willow Road Water Place, not quite Barry Farms, Willow Road Water Place. But behind me, the pew that was behind me, it was a whole row of sisters, whole row of young ladies. He said Barry Farms. They went off. They were from Barry Farms. So I turned around, was like, hey, what's up, Southeast? So basically, in a nutshell, he was talking about how God uses unlikely people that we think that are unlikely. He talked about the places that people from unlikely places. He just talked about like the great things that God is going to do. So some of the stories that he went through, I'm telling y'all, it like just touched me so much. He was like, so y'all know I talk about the roads that grew from concrete, right? And concrete represents my surroundings. But he basically hit upon that. He's like, how in the world, and he said this out of his mouth, how in the world could somebody come from these places and become a GS-15 in the federal government? So y'all know I did my little backslide and my little everything. But he was talking about Jesus, like Jesus, where Jesus came from. They never thought that anybody would have any good for that. So I'm not going to get all into the sermon, but I was trying to give a shout out to them sisters that was in the back row. See, I ain't the only one that get hyped when they holler Southeast. The sisters in the back row was a whole row of them. I just had to high five them. But yes, so the topic, and the guest that we have with us here today. So I'm so excited to have two guests with me today that's starting off with the first half of it. And we're going to start with this young lady. And it's so crazy that I just met her. I mean, like, I just met her. I got a connection, and they was like, you got to have her on. And I was like, what? Send me something. She sent me something. I was like, bet, you on tomorrow. So I'm going to let you do your self-introduction. Tell the people who you are.
My name is Millie O'Reilly. I am the female OG. I am who you talk to when you need something done. I am the person that you know when you need to know somebody with the best intent.
Come on.
I do music. I make clothes. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm working on a new project called Cool Vents, where we open up venting sessions to everyone so everyone has someone to talk to, especially at a time like this in the end of the year where everyone's in panic trying to make sure things are done. Mental health is the most important thing at this point in time as you go into the new year and as you close out the old one. But for the most part, I'm Millie O'Reilly.
All right. And who do we have here? My VIP, my special guest here.
My name is Tina Johnson, and I'm Tina O'Reilly.
See, she plays too much.
It's a family thing. It's a family thing.
Right. Connection.
Yeah, we
connection.
Irish. We Irish.
I feel it. Yeah. So, for those of you all who don't know, like you might not know me if you don't know, but Tina is my best friend from 35 years. Let me stop counting. How many?
35.
Yeah, she's my older friend too. But yeah, so we're gonna jump right into it, and you are gonna bless us with some spoken word a little bit later after the commercial.
Absolutely.
And here's the funny thing. Like, when I said send me something, because the first piece, so I got to be honest with y'all, the first piece that she sent me was raw.
Raw.
And I mean raw. Meaning, like, I was like, whoa. And I was like, send me a little something.
Right.
And what she sent me was, like, directly related to our topic at hand. So our topic at hand, we're talking about ships, relationships, friendships, partnerships, mentorships, fellowships, stewardship, censorship, championship, leadership, any ships that you can think of. That's what we want to dive in, and that's what we want to talk about. And she also hit upon the second topic that we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about dealing with mental health. At this time and at this season, a lot of people struggle with the loss of loved ones, and it really puts them in a various mindset. So we're definitely going to dive in, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to get a little serious about that on the end. But it's a part of relationships, because sometimes it's the relationships that cause you to don't push me because I'm close. Y'all know the song, right? So let's talk about it. So the first one, let's go ahead with friendship, since we're talking about that. And I don't want to give away. I only shared one line of what you sent me in terms of like loyalty. So without going into and spitting and saying what you're going to say, talk to me a little bit about the inspiration behind that piece, and also what loyalty and friendship means to you.
Well, to me, the piece was really about just the transition between who you're becoming and who you used to be, and how friendships correlate with that.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like everything in your life should have a place and a purpose. Even people. You don't have control of where you come from as far as family, as far as siblinghood, as far as any of that.
Right.
You only have control of your children, where they come from, what they come from, and how you proceed going forward.
Yeah.
So I found myself last year really struggling with a lot of different things as far as where I go with my extended family. And I just was at flux with a lot of things. So it was like I've been loyal to people, but I don't have a lot to show for it. You know what I mean? So those friendships I still hold dear in my heart, but I can't make them grow. I can't nurture them because they're no longer a part of who I am right now. They're a part of a life that I used to live. So I find myself distancing myself from people who remind me of where I used to be and what I used to do.
Were you in my church yesterday?
I could have been.
I mean, I'm telling you, because you basically paraphrasing exactly what my pastor said in terms of his points. But it's very good that you said that. And one of the things that I want to like hone in on is like seasons.
Okay.
Seasons. There are seasons and reasons for everything in life. And a lot of times people tend to try to hold on to these ships, especially the friendship, too long. And I can understand once you have a bond with someone that you create a bond. But sometimes it's detrimental to you to keep on holding on and trying to patch it up. And it doesn't mean like you have to beef or you have to do anything. Sometimes things just drift apart. Let them drift organically. Because when you have it unorganically, you're going to feel how you felt last year. You're going to feel yourself in a space of being lost or unappreciative, or like it's not self-worth, because you're good with yourself, but you're feeling like they don't deserve to be in my space. And everybody knows I talk about my space. I'm very particular about my space. And I have this whole thing, like my friends, true friends, and we had a show where we talked about the levels of friends. But my true friends, I will do anything in the world for them, and I get real close and sensitive with it. But like Tina, like let's take Tina for example, my best friend. We don't hang together like all the time. When we don't talk to each other or whatever we do now, she be doing this creepy stuff of FaceTiming me. But other than that, but that's my girl. Like I would do anything in the world for her. She's the godmother of my daughter, and our relationship just go beyond like anything that I can really describe. So, but that's my lifetime. You know what I mean? You got some people who I've been real close with at a given time, and I'm cool with that. We just drifted off. Ain't no beef or anything. But I will not sit in a space where I feel undervalued, and I don't need anybody to put me up on a pedestal or anything, and not shy away from attention. But don't play with me. Don't play with me, because it's a thin line between that strong, I love you, I care, would do anything, to deuces. Deuces.
Agree.
And I'm going to piggyback off of our friendship. And one of the things why our friendship has remained so constant through the years, and I'm talking about all the way back to 4th grade, probably she was in the 3rd or whatever.
I was just saying, you 2 years older than me. Go ahead.
Is one of the things to have a friend is to really be a friend.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about a genuine, true friendship where I know her mom, she knows my mom, and they know us, and then just good, genuine, loyal, respectful people who's a respecter of your friendship in front and behind.
Yeah.
You know, you got people who be with people all the time,
Right.
and they just being with you to find out what's going on with you to get in your business.
Exactly.
As soon as you turn your head, they don't have your back for real. So that loyalty in a relationship and friendship is another thing. And then Dream comes on from the side too, because there's another ship that you didn't talk about on there, and I know that's just an oversight on your part, but the worshiping part of
I
it.
got that.
Okay, I didn't hear you say it. I gotta clean my ears, but yeah.
Even
but,
my
being
friends
Dream-
even got dirty ears. She's still my friend. I love her dirty ears and
I
everything.
didn't
But go
hear
ahead.
it, but I knew it was gonna be there somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just what I was talking about. That's why you have friendships that, like she said, you can be friends for forever, but then you just drift apart.
Yeah.
But there's a few people that it's a reason, season, and lifetime.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a lifetime because they know how to really be a friend, and that not that friend that just if you wrong.
Right.
You wrong. No, let me tell you what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And at the end of the day, you know because of that individual, if it's coming from her, it ain't hate. It's not mad. Obviously, she sees
Yeah.
something that I'm not seeing right now, and it can be respected because that's the genuinity of the friendship. Or,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. And the last thing I'll add to that before we switch over to sponsorship and partnership is that I'm straight up honest. I'm straight up honest with everybody. And it takes a real friend to understand and know that I'm coming from that type of space. So when we go down and we talking, I'll be like, nah, Tina, I don't agree with that because of this, this, and this, and this. I respect you, I respect your opinion, but here's my thought of it from the other angle. So we go in and we dialogue, and she'll take it or she'll leave it. When she leave it, it's like I'm playing. But like, I mean, and seriously, like that's how we go, and she understands. Like anything that I say, I might get passionate about it, but it is like in my being in the best interest for her, but knowing that she don't have to take it if she don't want to. But I'm being open and honest and unbiased with that conversation. So let's talk about partnerships and sponsorship. So this kind of like take you into the business world dynamics, right? So partnerships come at all different ranges. You can talk about a relationship in terms of a partnership with your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your friend, your business partner, your anyone. But on the strength of it, I'm talking about all of them, but mainly like partnership in terms of business. And then we also have sponsorship. And sponsorship is where you contribute some money, time, or donate something to someone in the business. So it's been kind of like new to me. I've been in the business since 2015, right? And so when I first came out, everything was like for profit. I started my nonprofit along the way, and I understand what nonprofit and for profit is. But the whole sponsorship was new to me, and partnership was new to me. So I know you up and coming. You got a whole lot of stuff going on. So talk to me a little bit about partnerships, people that you have partnered up with in terms of your business and where it's a mutual benefit or may not. Share your experience with that. And then also sponsorship, meaning if you have poured in time or money to some event, organization, business, or if somebody had poured into you.
The biggest form of sponsorship, of partnership that I can honestly think of is a relationship I had with a guy named Greg Sutherland, who pretty much introduced me to making clothes. And what I want to say in essence is he gave me free game. He took me under his wing. He taught me how to manage the business aspect of it and how to be my own person. And I find that like when you have sponsorship and partnerships, a lot of people don't teach you what they know because they're scared of you outgrowing them.
Come on.
He wasn't scared of me outgrowing him. He was the first person to ever give me a chance to ever put my clothes in a store, whether I knew what I was doing or not. Like he taught me to step out on faith. And that was like the biggest form of sponsorship. When I started rapping and making videos, well, let me make your fit for your video. Let me do this.
Right.
And I didn't feel like I was being taken advantage of because he had my back.
Right.
When it costs nothing and when it costs everything. So I understand that. And for that, I learned that one tide sails all ships. So with that, I was able to help other people, and he was able to help other people, and that helped other people to spawn their businesses, and it was no hard feelings about it. I would still work with Greg 110%, 100 times over because he never had to take a chance on me in the first place, and I never undervalued that.
Okay.
So
You want to chime in on that? I know, like, it's a little different avenue, but you can still talk about it from a work standpoint or personal standpoint.
Well, it's going to be funny because my things will relate back to you. I am kind of like a mediator. Like if I'm sitting and I'm talking to someone and I hear what they're going through or whatever, the first thing out my mouth is, you need to get with my girl Dream. Am I not lying?
No, that's,
You
I'm
need to
telling
get with
y'all.
my girl Dream. I hear what you're saying. I can't do nothing for you, but I know somebody who can. So that's kind of like I'm not gonna say an internship, but an internship or whatever.
It's like a
where
sponsorship for real.
sponsorship.
Like,
Because
I
do
really
that
need
too.
to start
I-
paying you an affiliate fee for real.
And for some people who do come to her, if they don't have the money to pay, I will pay for them. I've done it. I've said it. I've paid for people to come to her vision
Events,
boards and events and things like that. So that would be like I am the sponsor or whatever.
Yeah.
And then as far as like partnerships, I'm a silent partner or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, and definitely like what you say in terms of like bringing people my way, like that. I'm serious. I really do need to pay you an affiliate fee because.
But that's what friends do. You ain't got to worry
And I
about
get
that.
it, and I understand that, because Lord have mercy, you get it back when you call me about your issues. I coach you, but like seriously think about. But like that's the reason why I don't advertise as much as I do. Like I get all
Word
my
of mouth.
clients from Tina,
Word of
like
mouth.
for real, like from the clients that I get, and all of my clients. That's how
Word
they
of
go,
mouth.
and that's how they rock. Word of mouth. So in terms of like, I was like, I gotta put out these classes. I gotta do this. You know, going back and looking and reflecting over the things that I did because I can't even keep up with the magnitude of clients that I receive, and that's a blessing. But that's why when I'm up at night silent doing my little thing, it's because I don't need to advertise. It comes and it comes and it comes through sponsorship, and that's the reason why you have to like pay it forward. You know what I mean? And I always talk about I want all of me to be emptied out so I can get everything that's coming in, not for personal higher up or personal. It's for God's will, for God's will. So in terms of sponsorship, it was new to me, but I try every time I can. I try to make sure that I do something to help out other people with that because it costs so much to put on an event, and the value that you get out of it in terms of helping individuals and blessing individuals, you cannot even pay for that amount. So if you input $100, $200, whatever the different rates that they're asking for, you are blessing somebody else, and no matter what, God's gonna bless you for it. But it was new to me, but like I said, I really like try to do that, and even in terms of donations and charity, like during the Giving Tuesday, when the time comes up, I try to make sure that I donate to everybody that comes up on my feed in terms of someone asking about donations. And it's a small amount. I got my set amount that I do a given year, and of course I do my taxes first to figure out how much I need to do. Nevertheless, I'm still giving, right? And then, yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying, one of the things that you probably don't even look at as far as when we go way back before Do It, when you were just working in the government doing your thing, is she still was sponsoring, getting young girls together, encouraging them, taking them out, taking them on shows, just doing a lot of stuff way back then. And that was a part of your sponsorship to the community that's helping you now receive the blessings that you're getting from that. Not that we did it for blessings because it was genuine and sincere. It was from the heart. But you've been sponsoring and taking care of the youngins.
See, that's why
from
I
a
brought you
long
on the
time.
show. See, she knows me. She knows me. She knows me. But that's definitely like a great point because we often overlook the things that we do. But I always talk about pathways and how they lead up, and talk about, we talked about on the 2nd of December, Reverend Rice and Minister Sonia, we talked about how amazing God is, where it's things that happen from when you were small, and it leads all up to a pathway of greatness and things you couldn't even imagine, think about, and it sets you up for something moving forward. So definitely that. So let's talk about leadership and mentorship. So for me, first of all, I had a lot of unnamed mentors growing up, and I'll laugh at this. Kimberly Holden, she often chimes in on my Facebook now, but she was the youngest first Black SES that I knew.
Okay.
And she's not that much older than me. She got me by a couple years, maybe like 3 or 4. But we were so young, and she was my supervisor before she went in that. Long story short, I needed to have a mentor for this development program, right? I was already doing my thing, but I needed a mentor. It required that I went to her and I said, hey, Kim, I need a mentor for my program. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, here go the paper. She was like, I'm not questioning that you need it. Like, you have everything. You do everything. You're doing everything. She said, so I tell you this, you keep doing what you're doing, and I just sign your paper that you need. But she don't even know, like, how I kept that email for so long of her because it showed me where I can go. And when she was my supervisor, she let me use my creativity like nothing else. I would be like, Kim, I got an idea. She would be like, come on in the drain. And I would be like, boom, boom, boom. She would be like, do your thing. Long as it was legal and long as I didn't get her in trouble. Like, she was cool with it. So that's why, in terms of me becoming a leader and mentoring other people, it's like butter. It's like butter. It's like at the drop of a dime, I'll just start spitting and sharing. I said spitting because the poet here, I don't spit. I start talking and sharing information. It's whatever comes, and that's how God speaks to you in terms of your path. But everything that I can do to help individuals to move forward, to reach their dreams, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. So how have you all been engaged with mentors or leadership?
See, me, I'm more so focused right now on the Female OG project, which mentors females of all ages. What I find mostly when I talk to different people, because I'm the type of person, I can go to a store and make a friend.
Right.
Because the moment that I meet you, I either feel your genuineness or I don't.
Come on.
And once I feel it, I accept it. I accept everything genuine that comes to me because it's owed to me.
Yes.
So when I give you good advice, I keep going. It's not like I give you advice right here and here. I want to know how you're going and how you're transpiring from this point on. Every time I see you, I'm going to ask you about the same conversation and see where you are and give you advice to move forward.
Right.
That's why it's important to me for women to talk in large groups, to share information in large groups. A lot of women suffer from the things that they don't know, but someone knew that you were suffering through that by yourself.
Come on.
So if people learn more, I've learned more from the things I wasn't supposed to see than the things that I was.
Say that one more time.
I learned more from the things that I wasn't supposed to see than the things that I was. It was more that I learned paying attention to the world around me than I ever learned in the classroom. So to me, it's important that you share this information. You should never see somebody hurting in the way that you've hurt and allow them to hurt that way and say, you could go through this by yourself. No, stop that from happening.
Yep.
Save them 2 years out of their life
Yep.
from that pain. That's how I feel about mentorship. I don't think it just goes in with business. I think it goes in with life.
Yes.
Once you've come through something, it's your job to help everyone come through that with that same strength or find it.
Yeah.
If you don't, what service are you to people?
Right. What purpose is it that you have in your life? Like God has a purpose and a will for each and every one of our lives. And he gives you everything you need to fulfill that. And guess what? The needs and everything that are out there is not the needs for you. He gives you everything that you need for everybody else. And guess what? Everybody else has everything that you need. And if you don't reverse it and give it that way and you hold your stuff in and you be selfish, guess what? You're not fulfilling God's promise for your life. And guess what? You're not growing. You're not working, you're not walking in your purpose, and you're not walking. So how are you going to be passionate about what you're doing? So most of the sad people, seriously, most of the sad people, and it's not necessarily sad, let's say the serious people that are not focused, because don't get me wrong, I used to be there. I used to be so serious about succeeding, and because of where I came from, I would be like, what they said on the news is not going to be me. So I got to work hard. I got to do this. I got to figure this out. And all of that was good. It helped me to go through school, got my double masters, did everything I needed to do, elevated to the GS-15. I did all of the things that I needed to do quickly. But guess what? It wasn't that education. It wasn't me doing what I needed to do. It was the grace of God. It was the grace of God. And when I figured out the magnitude of obedience, that's when everything shifted. Because I don't get me wrong, I thought it was my smartness. I thought it was those things. But when you learn obedience and you get the understanding and you develop your relationship with God, when you going through some stuff, try to be like like, here go my master's degree. Oh, you don't want that one? Take this other one. It has no value. It has no value. And for real, I learned a lot. Don't get me wrong. I learned a lot with my degree. But for real, when it gets down to it and we get to talking and we get to spitting, it's like she got me saying spit. But when we get to talking, the stuff that come out and what I say, I'll be like, what did I say? That's why with my sessions, I always encourage people to do the on-phone one so that you can get a recording of it versus the in-person. Because in-person, you're going to ask me, what did I just say? And I'm going to tell you, I don't know. And it's the God heaven's truth because I know. And that's when you know that what you say and what you do, it comes from God. It don't have nothing to do with me. I know I look cute sometimes, be dressed in my little colors and be saying the little stuff, but I'm telling y'all, that's why all the time I mean it from the bottom of my heart. When people be like, oh my God, you, I be like, that's God. God gets the glory. God. Because I mean that wholeheartedly. And let's take one more before we go to commercial break, and then we can talk about it some more on the other side of it. So, Tina, you brought it up, so let's go. Let's talk about it. Worship.
Praise God.
See, this one right here, I can't do nothing with her. But
I'm just saying, no matter what you do in life, in anything, you have to have a real relationship with the Creator.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. It's something personal between you and your God, whether it's Allah, Jehovah, Buddha, whoever. You just have to have a personal relationship with God, and you do that through worshiping.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and everything else should fall as long as it should, as it will be.
Right.
But other than that,
Yeah.
you know, you're just a being. You're just here.
Yeah.
You're just existing.
Yeah. That was good, Tina.
Thank you.
How was you?
For me, it's just, to me, when I got in my 30s, I learned a lot about who I was to be able to center my relationship with God. Because at first, I was lost. I was still trying to figure certain things out. But now that I've come into myself, my relationship with God is so individualized that I often don't even share a lot of it with people. Because my design is for me and it's not for you. And I feel like sometimes me sharing that is breaking my confidentiality with God. Me and him have an understanding that I have a destiny that's to be fulfilled, and it's not to be talked about, it's to be done.
Exactly.
So that's why I find myself more so taking my moments, not feeling defeated in praying, but when things are right, thanking God for the strength to make sure that these things continue to go right and not to underestimate or underappreciate the value of the days where everything is everything. So to me, that's what it's mostly about. I don't understand how we can all have the same relationship with God if we don't all have the same, we don't even worship the same way, we don't have the same experiences. Our individual paths are for us.
Yes.
So your relationship with God has to be individualized as well.
Exactly.
So that's where I genuinely find myself.
So I definitely agree with you to a great percentage. Here's something that that I often think about and I often ponder about, and I'm just being very transparent. So one of the things is that in the Bible, it tells you do good, help other people, and do it in secrecy. Like, don't go and talk about it. Then there's the other thing that talks about a testimony. Once you go through a test, you share your testimony so that it can get to other people. So, like, and I have to be honest with you, and that's something that I need to, like, talk to my pastor, executive pastor about, because it really has come in my mind. I don't have a problem with, I do a lot of stuff that I don't even talk about. I do some things that I share about, but when I share them, it's not to get accolades or to move me up. It's to talk about, like, how somebody else might be in that situation, and that knowing that that's not the end of it, even someone looking from the outside. And of course, every experience that I go through, like you said at the beginning of it, if you see somebody hurting or somebody dealing with an issue that you already went through, it is our duty and our responsibility to share our testimony or to talk with them and to feel like it. So I know testimony is one thing, and I know helping others is another. But I'm telling you, when I have deep thoughts with myself. I go into the alignment of both of them. So a lot of stuff I'll be like, oh God, I'm not going to share that. Then I'm like, when I start digging deep into it, because I'm telling you, I could go deep in thought in terms of strategy thinking and just thinking from afar of how things, like, I know I'm going like real deep, but I'm serious. That's how I go in deep thought, especially when I'm by myself. Powerful brainstorming sessions, and I started like realizing it. So at the end of the day, as long as what you're doing is for the glory of God and not for yourself,
Absolutely.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So yeah, so thank y'all all for chiming in. We will connect and we will get some of your feedback, but we need to go to a commercial break. Like, this was a powerful first half. At the end of commercial, I told y'all I was going to give y'all a present. Y'all already heard Millie O'Reilly. Look, I love how her name goes. It's Millie O'Reilly. You already heard her talking in dialogue. She's going to deliver something for you, so you're in for a treat. And then we also have Deidre, who's going to come on the other side, and she's going to fill back in where Millie talked a little bit in terms of mental health. And we're going to go to commercial. So
Hello, welcome to the home of Crisco Enterprises, LLC. Come on in and let us show you around. We are comprised of professionals in many fields, and we pride ourselves on being able to offer exceptional service as well as the highest quality products. We don't offer just another event, product, or service. We provide an experience, the Crisco experience. Some of the services we provide are photography and videography, event planning, catering and decor, DJ services, African drumming and instructing, motivational speaking and emceeing, website design, logo, graphics and printing, custom t-shirts and apparel and decals, mobile barbering and natural hair and lock maintenance. We also have a makeup artist who will provide your personal and professional photo shoot and big event makeup needs. If that isn't enough, check out our and more section, where you will find our partner services that include cartoon characters, moon bounces and water slides, face painting, popcorn, cotton candy, and snow cone machines. If you don't see the service or product you're looking for on our site, ask us about it. Chances are we can assist you with that too. Thank you for coming by. Now go ahead, contact us and let us know how we can help to provide you with your very own Crisco experience.
welcome back. So y'all saw the pictures from the events over the weekend, and also all of my beautiful family. We had a wonderful time. Also want to remind you, don't forget, there are two ways that you can view the show. You can view it from Facebook Live, but you also can stream it from Urban Style Media's website. I already promised y'all and I already told y'all. Y'all heard her talking. Young girl. She had like a whole lot to say, a lot of experiences. And I want y'all to get this. So I got a sneak preview of it earlier, and I was like, wow. I shared one line, but without any additional timing and wasting the time, we're gonna let her do what she came to do. So take it away, Millie. Oh, really?
More loyal than most, and even that thing's to a fault. People play my love close and end up breaking my heart. Could never understand how people play with those dots. Why try to hold things together when you out here taking shots? Compromising all the things you say you want from the start. We had the bricks in the deal. You treat my love like a knock. Scared of things being real. You treat my love like a op. I could have bought your thing light, but I got left in the dark. But pay it. The love you give is seldomly what you are given. We grow with it. That's something we learn as children. Begin sincere because you can't speak on their intentions. They be alone and you can't feed them that attention. You make a choice, you got to stand by that decision. And once they go, you emphasize they keep their distance. Remember, they wasn't just down to watch you grow, and now the ones you used to love are just the ones you used to know.
Yeah, so she can spit some more over here when she come and sit down. But like, how perfect was that in alignment with the topics that we're talking about today in terms of all the different type of ships that you have and the things that you go through? So her first line in terms of talking about loyalty, she spoke a little bit about that in terms of friendships and all of the other aspects of it. But I'm telling y'all, it's a serious thing, and it's something that I think about a lot. And I know, Deidre, so why don't we let you introduce yourself, because we're going to continue on with the conversation a bit before you talk about your piece. Okay. But let's let you introduce yourself so as we chime in and talk, they'll know who they talking to.
Okay, I'm Dr. Deidre West.
Okay.
I'm a mentor, educator, but I'm the doctor with the T. I want to talk about mental illness and health during the holidays. So I want to definitely tone into that and give some insight on what we need.
Okay, and so we're going to talk about that a little teeny bit later. So I'm just telling you.
Wow.
It was, yeah. It's like rarely am I speechless. And I heard it earlier today. And when you sent it to me, I sent you back like a quick little message like, wow. And I had to share a little bit of it on Facebook. Right. But not only like the variations of words and how you traveled through the message that you was given, but how it directly lined up into it. So I'm telling you, it's special little something. You was in church with us yesterday.
I peeked through.
Yeah, and on December the 2nd, you was all up in our conversation as well.
Yeah, I was in the back.
Okay. So talk a little bit more. You talked a little bit earlier about the piece and what inspired you, but just add on anything, because I know I probably had you like, because I didn't want you to say, or go too much into what you was going to say. But now, if you want to add on anything else in addition to it, feel free to do so now.
I mean, I think, like I said, I was struggling more so with my relationships with people, and also that matching up with my self-worth, with everything that I've come from, and what I'm allowed to go back to, what I'm allowed to entertain, even as far as family. Like, just realizing that I've bought myself out of certain situations, I bought myself out of certain places alone. And I've had to, and I don't feel any fault to anyone for it. But I shouldn't have to apologize for who I am now when everything that I am now took me from that place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I've been in very dark places. The holidays are not really a good time of the year for me, because by me being older and, as you get older, it's almost like your child eyes turn off and your adult eyes turn on. So your ideas of family change constantly. It changes as you get older, that your grandma's notion of family has gone, and you really have to build your own idea of what family is to teach your children. Yeah. So last year I really struggled with that, just trying to figure out where I fit into my family, what I believe in, what I don't believe in, making sure that I don't stand for anything that I don't believe in, whether it's family or not. I have to stand on my own 2 feet as a woman, and I have a daughter who requires me to be my best self and to give her great knowledge, not based on what favors other people, but what favors her growth as a woman.
Right.
So that was my biggest struggle. And as I started writing the verse, I just started putting everything out.
Yeah, you
And
put it out.
It just comes right out.
You put it out, and when in your quiet time, add an extension to that. Like, it was so powerful in itself, but like I wanted more. Like, we were over here, like, give us some more. Like, to that same whole lineup in terms of like the journey that it goes down, and not like organically, but that's a powerful piece. So in terms of your social media, because oh my God, you had me up on Instagram. I was supposed to be doing something else, but I was going through Instagram, and not only like your spoken word, just like your speaking, just randomly thoughts that would come,
The
and you
things
just go
that come
on and
into
post.
this mind of mine.
Yeah.
And I just feel like everybody has these random blurts, but because it's not popular thinking, people tend to censor themselves. But I need everyone to know that we all think wild and outside of the box.
Yeah.
And creative thoughts is what changes the world. It's not
Right.
the general sense of thinking. It's not the mannequin thinking that changes the world. It's the person that changed everything on that mannequin and put
Right.
it in that window.
Right.
And it became a one-in-one. It's not everything that everybody's wearing.
Right.
So, like, I learned that in my 30s. Like, you can't be a part of the trend. You have to be the trend.
Say
You know
that
what I
again.
mean?
Say that
You
again.
have to. Like,
Yes.
you have to be the trend. Whatever you want to happen, you have to make happen and make
Yes,
everyone
you gotta
around
be the
you
difference
follow
you
that.
wanna
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
Because it doesn't make sense for you to expect change from a world that you have no impact in.
Right. And my pastor always talk about being a thermostat, thermometer. Like changing, like the whole, like not adjusting to your environment, but you setting it,
Think outside
and you
the box.
make
No,
the temperature adjust.
I
with
call it adapting and adapting, where you adapt to your environment, but you master it. Like, even if this is where you have to be for this simple period in time, master it. Don't be
Yeah.
scared to master with your surroundings. If this is it, make it be all that it is. Don't let it be it.
But what goes with that is like you gotta have an ability and a mindset to do that. Everybody doesn't have that mindset, and those are the people that you know that get stuck because they become complacent with everything that's going on around them. And although it's not normal, it becomes normal to them. They turn their abnormal into normalcy, and then that's where they get stuck in this whole thing, and they're unable to eject from the mindset that they have. So bless you with your brilliance and your ability to do that. And I talked to my daughter about this, and I talk to people, and I'm not saying smart, dumb, or whatever, but there are some people who are intellectually at a higher level than other people, and it puts you in a challenge because when you're in an environment and other people cannot connect with you, you stand back and you kind of like dim your light in terms of your shine. And I'm telling you because that's what I went through. I went through where I was in places and spaces where I was the smartest one in the group, and where it would go to my intellectual, people couldn't understand what I was saying. And I knew what it was, and I'm a big picture person, and I know like the end of it and how to go through. People are like in your face, and I don't want to get on this topic because I feel myself getting deep. We're going to have lunch, dinner, or something, and we just going to vibe and go into it because I know exactly what you feel like. And my clients who come to me who are very intellectual, everybody has their creativity. Don't get me wrong, and everybody has something to bring to the table. But it is that, it's something, you said you didn't get it in the classroom. That's the stuff that I'm talking about. Your ability to take something and grasp it. Everybody has their own gift and talent in what they do.
To think out of the box.
Yeah, and Denzel, my man, the owner here, he makes a joke about it because he says, I never met a mic that I didn't like. You know what I mean?
right.
And it's just like how we're in situations. We can be talking, going, as soon as the camera go on, the camera is on, and they're like, okay, you like shifting into it. That's because it's the gift that you have. You have your gift, you have your gift, and you have your gift. Everybody can't understand, and everybody is not on the mindset and the level that you are on in terms
We
of.
definitely talked
Yeah.
about that too, about just understanding that what's for you is not meant for everybody, and not being upset with people who don't understand your journey.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean? And
But
That's
that's
the
scripture
thing.
too. 'Cause,
Yeah.
That's the
God
thing.
gave everybody gifts
Yes.
and talents.
Yes. Yes.
Your
Yes.
gifts and talents will be different from my gifts and talents.
Right.
But we all have the same gifts and talents that'll lead us to the Holy Spirit.
And just to paraphrase, I mean, to piggyback off of what y'all saying, for the ones that don't even know, that's where the mentorship comes in.
Right.
Because
Right.
there are kids, I mean, I know from my experience as a child, that things that if somebody had honed in on what I knew I could do as a child, because I didn't know how to get there. I didn't even know that's what I wanted to do. If y'all don't know, look, I could have been an actress, right? You know what I'm saying?
for real.
But I'm dead
I'm
serious.
serious.
I'm on stage at a recreational play, and I'm acting with everybody else. And after the play, so many people came up to me asking me, "Are you a real actress?" And I'm like, "No." They was like, "You need to get into it." But if, say for instance, if there was a talent scout there or somebody, they would have been like, "Look, we already see your potential. Where's your mom? Let's put you here." And that's something that even still to this day, I'm like, okay, I might still think about it because I never did it. But having that mentorship for those who don't know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Somebody with like Jay-Z said, it took one teacher that she didn't even know that looked at him and told him, it's something about you. You know what I'm saying? Each one teach one.
Right.
And somebody got to tell somebody else that is in you and you can do it. And it's especially
Right.
important when they're kids.
Right.
That's the honest.
So we're gonna transition over to Deidre, but I do want to make a last comment to tie into what both of you said. One, you talked about family, so that was the whole line of kinship for me. And it's so funny that mine has kind of like reversed in terms of the stage that you are going through. So I don't know if it's a phase of life in terms of age. So I'm 48, and over the last couple of years, family has like the morphing and the situation in terms of family, because my family is not close, and so over like the years and the time of it, I want my family to be so close, and so I'm making strides to make sure that whatever we can do in terms of family, organically, and I say organically because I mean that from my heart. I'm not about to be sitting and faking and doing anything that don't even look well on me. But in terms of family, so that's why like this weekend with my family was so important. Had conversation with my cousin, and just talking through some things, and then having Christmas at my mom's house coming up. We had Thanksgiving at my cousin's house. But you know what? Unfortunately, I think that the deaths had something to do with it. In November, we had 6 deaths in our family. So you got to go to the funeral. You got to come together. You got to do something. And then before that. So that's unfortunate. But I just wanted to say, like, while you going through your phase of designing what family means for you, I went through that phase of it. And at that time, it worked for me. So now my kids are grown. And I'm like, this ain't working for me. Like, we need to go back to tradition and whatever. So just look at that. But I applaud you in terms of what you're saying. And then the last thing I'll say is in terms of what you said. I say that all the time. As a child, I was brilliant. Never studied, never did anything. Won all the spelling bees, won all the science. And I would do my science project the night before and take it home, the first prize. I would, in math class, we used to get our name up on the board. In algebra, calculus, all of that. Like, I didn't do anything. I just would go and I could just figure it out. And then when I was in high school, for real, I used to call my calculus, or one of my trigonometry teachers, my aunt. I got an A in her class, and I was the first one in like 5 years or something. They was like, that's because you're on. And I was like, nah, that's because it's brain. But I'm going to go ahead and let Deidre end it up. But like kinship, that's a whole different thing. So let's spend our last minutes talking about mental health and its importance around the holidays.
So basically, I just wanted to share that, during this time of season, most people are celebrating with family and friends. But for people that are dealing with mental health issues, depressions, anxieties, and stresses, it comes from that social detachment that you was talking about. Sometimes you pull yourself away. And I was like, oh, did she read that?
I'm telling her, she's been everywhere. He's been everywhere.
Some of the factors that would get me into a dark place were my finances, or the way, what gifts I can provide for my children. During those times, it was like the UGG boots and, the latest technology. And when my money was short or my money was limited, and you look at what society is doing, or you look at what your friend group is doing for their kids, and you want to do something big or better, But for me, it was my finances, it was my social appearance, going to parties. You know, we kind of distance ourselves from going to different parties or being out with different family social because you don't want to explain yourself. And then it's a lot of times, most people with mental health deal with being the black sheep of the family. So now you got this stigma on you that I'm already crazy, and then I'm already have to deal with being around family members that don't believe that I have a disability. So dealing with that during the holidays, or dealing with death during the holidays, in so many years, I've always died during the holidays. It's like a seasonal depression. You know, certain times of the year one would get depressed, but during the holiday season seemed to be hard. And when I went to look for the research, and it was so much out there, but everybody was saying the same thing. So I just want you all to just look at the signs of your family members. You know, check on it, because it's so taboo in the black community to seek help. Or to talk to somebody. You know, most people don't want people to be in their business about their health. But I believe mental health is more important than physical health.
Amen.
It's more important than physical health. So if we look at the anxieties of what life brings on us, the stresses of life, the financials, trying to fit into groups when God made you outstanding to stand outside of the group. So when you said you thinking and you're thinking out of the box, most geniuses think out of the box. And most geniuses have mental problems. So, when I did my study, because I wanted to do a study, like, I can't be the only one in my family crazy. There got to be some history behind this. So I wanted to go biblically, because I was like, why would God bring me to this point? So I started looking at different people that had mental problems in the Bible, and the impact that they made after it was aware. Like, after they made aware that they had a problem, and the impact that they had on the community. So my biggest character that I liked was the guy that was in the cemetery cutting himself, because that was one of my relief. That was a relief for me, cutting myself. So he would cut himself. So when Jesus came along, he was like, I want to talk to him too. Everybody was saying, nah, he crazy. He in the cemetery, he cutting himself. We can't even keep him contained because he kept breaking off chains. He was so strong. But after he had a relationship with Jesus, a relationship with God, and I heard y'all talking about that in the first segment. But after he had a relationship with God, he went on and saved 10 other cities and told them about the goodness of God. So just having a relationship, so sometimes when you go in that dark space, because I've been there, and you only see a brink of light, and you're like, I see it, that's God. And then when you have to know the voice of God, because when you don't know the voice of God, your own voice and the voice of the enemy will trick you every time. So that was, just knowing knowing your family members. Like, if you haven't talked to them in a while, call them. It doesn't take much. I saw a meme today, and it says, someone can love you desperately with their feelings and still not know how to love you correctly with their actions. So in 2020, I think, we need to show by action. Like, that we are God's children. We have a gift that God wants us to share with the world, and we cannot be afraid of it. Because I was always thinking, like, why me, Lord? Why do I have to go through this? And then no one else no one else is depressed, no one else has anxiety, but when you talk to other people, and you won't know until you say something. So,
oh my God. So it's so much that we can add on, but of course we're at the end of the show. At the end of the show, but powerful pieces. I appreciate you sharing your experiences and your true feelings, as well as you dipping in, and as well as you. So I thank all of you all and everybody that's online. D. Bowen, thanks for your comment. LaShawn Breeze, Graylin Howard, hey cousin. Willie Jones, Shanae Robinson, hey Shanae, Marcella Stretch, Sherry Hickman, cousin, everybody else. So we can't call out all the names, Dr. Joelle, Jamaica Lovelace, but thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you. So all that y'all dealing with?
Take a walk.
Get rid of it. If
Let
it's
it
something
sail.
that you
Let
if,
the ship
if there
sail.
are good ones that you want to embrace, make sure that you embrace them. But I mean, you got to look at it and make sure that you make the determination of how it makes you feel and what it means to you all. So we have upcoming next week. At first, last week I said I thought it was New Year's Eve, but it's not. So we're actually going to be doing a powerful closeout of the year. We're going to be doing men versus women.
Awesome.
And we're going to do a recap of the year and the decade. So, got to talk to the big fella about the live audience, but it's been the hot show. It's been hot and popping. So, we get that bonus week. We about to make some bonus stuff. So, y'all will get that after Christmas special. You know how stuff go on sale? It ain't no sale. You won't get it, but that's when you're going to get your prices. So, thank you all so much for tuning in. So,
Can I just say how
same
beautiful-
time.
Can I just say how beautiful this studio is too?
Yeah,
This studio.
yeah.
If you ain't never been to the live studio,
Got to get
you got to get on a VIP ticket to get here because this is nothing short of. I mean, it's amazing. I've been to some other radio stations and it don't even look like this. This is really nice. I don't even want to leave. In fact, I'm still gonna be here when they come.
Mike's gonna be off. He's still gonna be
So
talking.
It's
that's
very
a big
nice.
shout out to the big man
Yes.
over there, Mr. D. He lets it go. He lets it rock and roll. So I'm gonna send out some stuff because our studio is intimate. So we're gonna make it work. So hey, until next time, next week, same time,
Happy holidays.
same station. Happy holidays from the Let's Do It Talk Show. See you all next week.
Adios.